Well, hello, good evening, and good morning or afternoon if you're seeing this on playback. And I'm Aerosmith tonight. Jeff was just going to do a couple of housekeeping things. My evening has been backwards so far, so if we get this done, it'll be a miracle. But a couple of weeks ago, when I did a live stream, I just happened to wear a shirt that I had concert. I collect T-shirts from concerts. Haven't been to a concert in a long time, probably 20 years, but I decided I'd just rotate them around since I've never worn them. So tonight I'm Aerosmith. So I don't think they show up too well, but this is what we're doing. And welcome everybody. This is Dee with Older Probably Insights. And for the summer series, I'm going to be doing live streams. And if you're new, welcome. And you can see all the other videos that I have done that are not live streams, just about my insights and my collaborations with other MBTI YouTube creators. So, just a couple of housekeeping things. One, I don't plan on it being too long tonight. I don't have my computer plugged in actually, and I'm going to be more straight to the point. I'm going to give some points that I want to make, and then if you have questions, comments, then I'll do that instead of trying to just go with the flow chat. We'll try this format modality, because there are some points I do want to get across, and I don't want to be laughing all the time on this one. We'll do that another time. And so that's what I'm going to do. So please, if you have any questions, comments, I want to have this to be a chat. So just make your comments here in the chat. If you're seeing it on playback, then just comment. Comments are welcome. Then I'll get back with you. And we are having some really good dialogues in the comment sections of the community page that I have, where I have polls, and also here. So tonight is a little bit of a teaser to get you here. It's about currency. And the way I see it, and it's a spin, is that the INFP has the highest currency motivation for currency of any MBTI type. Now, I was just watching another video. Somebody I know was saying the opposite. Everybody says the opposite, and we don't care. And typically, you'll see all the stats where where the INF have the alphabet soup. I don't do that. The INFP typically makes about the lowest or one of the lowest incomes, lifetime incomes of the MBTI types, because they don't care. Either they don't care, or they want to get into careers that don't pay much. Things like if you're creative, if you want to get into music, if you want to get into art, dancing, acting. Right now they're on strike, so a lot of people are not working right now. So it's project type work, or you want to do in the helping professions, which I don't know where it is around the world, but I know here in the States, the helping professionals, like teachers and me, I'm a retired social worker. We don't make livable wages. We don't. It's very hard to do that. I don't think I've made good money, but I don't think I've made what we call nowadays a livable wage. Okay, so what do I mean by currency? We're supposed to be the poorest. We're supposed to be the most unmotivated. I looked up the word currency before I did this because I thought, well, yeah, I had this idea. And when I went to get my clip art meme for the thumbnail, I typed in currency and the money popped up. So that's what everybody thinks, that currency is money. So I used it. But also another, and I do actually have a structure tonight. Another definition of the word currency is is a fact or quality of being generally accepted or in use. Okay? How many knew that? I didn't, but I'm glad I used that word. I'm glad I turned it on. I'm glad I looked it up. It's a fact or quality, and I'm going to be talking about quality of being generally accepted or in use. Okay, so how does that apply to the INFP, and what in the world am I talking about? What I am talking about is it brought back memories, and INFPs do live in the past a lot. We base our present and our present actions a lot on past events, and so it just blurped in my head um, about. I think somebody said something about it about we need to be not be. I want to use the word kind. Kind is not the word I want to use, but we want to just be with other people. That should be valued. Somebody said that somewhere. It was either in one of my chats and in one of my videos, or somebody's video, or something I was looking at. Um, that's what sparked my memory. So when I'm talking about currency, I am talking about that quality that is, let's just say, in generally used. It is not generally used what we have the most of that needs to be generally used. And I have talked about it in several videos. One's about mindfulness, and another I'll think about in a minute, that I did like 2 years ago. We are very mindful people. Take out, doesn't matter how much money we make, doesn't matter what we do for a living, doesn't matter anything else. We as people, and I think that's why we take, oh my gosh, my door just closed by itself. I've got a visitor. My intuition. There's somebody moving around that's not really here. I'm here. But yes, so what we need to do, we don't need to do it. We need to do it more and bring it out more. And other people need to appreciate it. Now, I'm going to give some examples. And they're all examples I had basically at the same time. And that's all I have. And all of you all can comment if you like about what I'm talking about. If I'm confusing, put that in the chat. What are you talking about? What we have is currency. We have authenticity. We have honesty. We have loyalty. We have dedication to people. We have all of these things. That is currency. That is the currency that we have, and we have it at a higher level than anybody else of the MBTI types. So says me. Now, I'm sure there will be a couple of people here and there that say, no, no, we're at the top, but I'm near the top, but I'm going to put us at the top. It is our FI, Dom. And a lot of people say, well, you can't use your feelings, you can't make your decision. And, FI is not about feelings, it's about your values. It is also about your feelings, because it's how you feel about your values. And we don't usually waver from that. But our values, it would be different if our values were like go rob people or step on people's toes or be bullies or that type of thing. But we're not like that. I read something the other day that described INFP as being sweet. That's something one of my classmates.com, I'm not giving them a plug, I don't like them, but they keep sending me spam like, Dee, someone's commented about you. They remember you from high school. So I looked at the thing one time and that somebody had described me as being sweet. Well, I never thought of myself when I was in high school as being sweet, but that's what they describe us as. And a lot of times it doesn't come across as being anything positive. Um, I get laughed at. I mean, I'm in senior housing right now. It's apartments. I mean, it's regular apartments, but they're for seniors. I thought it would be quieter here. It's really not. It's a lot like high school. There's some mean girls here. And there's one when I run into, she says the same thing to me every time, and then laughs and gets the whole group to laugh at her. And I don't like it. I've avoided her. I've done whatever I could to take the higher road, besides just squashing her. That's what I want to do. But yes, so it still happens. So instead of saying, well, I don't want to do that, I want to be more assertive, I want to be more like another type, I don't want to be an INFP. Yes, take it. The rest of the world needs to be more like us. And I'll just give you the example I wanted to give, and then that's all I got for tonight. And it's not going to last very long if nobody says anything. But the last point I want to make, the examples I want to give, because that's how I explain things. That's how INFPs explain things from our experience. That's how we explain things. We tell stories. When I was in grad school and I was getting my grad degree in social work, and I was doing an internship in a major hospital in the neonatal intensive care unit. And that's a hard place to work, by the way. They got all these bells and whistles and machines and whatnot. But I was there, and I went back to school when I was middle aged. What do you say, using my aesthetics? Find a way to throw Barbie accessories on her carpets. Yes, I need to do that. All of those got sucked up a long time ago with my kids and the Barbies. I have $1 million worth sucked up. But yes, that's what I need to do, that to find something to do. But the examples where all my examples have to do with the NICU. And my supervisor told me that if a parent comes into the NICU, I better be in there talking to them, or at least being there with them. And they would go in there, and it's usually the mother, and during the day, it's usually the mother, and the mother would go in, and we didn't have that many visitors. Unfortunately, these babies did not have that many visitors. And the parents didn't come, all of them didn't come every day. But when they came, they sit in a rocking chair and hold them and rock them, and I'd take a rocking chair and sit with them. The NICU was, it's a stressful place if you have to know all the bells and whistles. I have a daughter who is a nurse practitioner in the NICU, and she has to know. All I know is the word blood gas. I don't know what it is, but that's all I know. Fortunately, I did not have to. My job was not having to do that. My job, and that's what I'm talking about. And good to see you, Ingrid. Um, that's what I'm not talking about, is learning what the rest of the world does, is how to be with people. This is what our currency is. That's the highest as an INFP. I went and talked to the director, who had actually this was back in the 90s when they first started having, I think maybe they first started having NICUs, they first started having all the technology for the NICUs. And he had studied over in the Netherlands. Of course, and Ingrid, over in your part of the world, you do your medical, it's particularly with babies and families, a whole lot better than anybody in the world, or at least at that point in time, and probably still do. And the attitude. And so I talked to him and met him, and I said, "Oh, I was really impressed with all the technology." And I said, "Oh, all this technology that's here, this is wonderful for these babies, and this is just wonderful what can be done." And he looked at me, he wasn't pleased at all. Only time I think I ever talked to him the whole year I was there. I kind of hid after that. But he looked at me and he said, "I'm looking for the day when we don't need these machines." And that really stuck with me, and that knocked me down a whole lot of notches. I'm looking for the day when we don't need these machines. And so my supervisor had told me that when a parent comes into the NICU, I best get out of the office and be in there sitting with them, and the supervisor better not catch me doing something else, because it's all about being. It's all about being with somebody. Being, and I sat there with many a parent, mostly mothers, but many a parent rocking, because I like to rock in chairs. That was just, here I was on an internship. I just sitting there rocking. A lot of times I was not talking. I would let them flow, talk, whatever, and I would just um, sit there with them, whatever they wanted to do, whatever they wanted to talk about. If they wanted to talk, help them bond with the baby. Didn't touch them, didn't bother them, but I would just say with my words, just be who we are. And INFPs are very good listeners. INFPs are very good empaths. The babies felt it, the mothers felt it, the parents, everybody felt it, um, and it actually helps them to bond. So that is a very, very, very high currency that I think we need in the world. And I remember one baby, and fortunately, with the whole year I was there, none passed away. Um, yeah, Sweden has, yeah, Radish Raven says, yeah, Sweden has super low infant mortality. It's true about being with somebody is such a special thing. Great that you could do that and be such a help to those people. Yeah, thank you. I learned a whole lot that year. Those babies taught me a lot about survival. I figured if they could go through what they went through, and every morning that I was there, I would go see my caseload, which were the family. I worked with the family, but I saw the babies, and I go see them every morning. I visit with them and get a report from the nurse what kind of night they had. Some of them you could see through their arms and veins and um, weighed a pound. I mean, it's amazing. But yeah, so we could do that. And as the supervisor had said, the director, not super, the director of the NICU had said, he was looking for the day when we don't need all these technology, when we don't need it. And unfortunately, it's gotten worse. I remember one evening, I stayed over. I actually went home. A baby was going home. Baby had been there for 2 months and had been moved to the pediatric section. And I was still following him over there, and was going to be discharged one night. Going to be discharged when the father could be there. So I went home and had my dinner and did whatever I needed to do, walk the dog, whatever I needed to do. And I came back to the hospital and sat with him and talked to and listened. And it was interesting to me. The father said what the father said to me. The father said, she's finally going, talking about the baby, going home. She's finally going to be a real baby. She's finally going to be a real baby. And I just looked at him and I said, she's always been a real baby. Because he could not see, he could not allow himself to have any feelings until he knew that she was going to be going home. And he almost cried. I mean, so this is just something that we have that other MBTI types don't have. And that's just the examples I wanted to give. And the last part of that example was when I was back in class, because the way I did 2 years of grad school, professional school, and we did internships and classwork, 18 hours of classwork and internships all at the same time. They try to drive you crazy. They succeeded, but they did all that at the same time. So a couple of days a week I was in class. The rest of the time I was working internship. So when I went to class towards the end of one semester, there was a guy who had graduated who was working in a NICU at another hospital who they brought in to speak to the class and ask questions. And everybody was all excited about his NICU experience, and he was talking about the bells and whistles and this, that, and the other. And Yes, JD. I love the discussion. Thank you for your insights and cheers from Orange County. Oh, we got California in the house. We've got Washington State in the house, and we got Sweden in the house that I know of. Thank you. Thank you so much. So just the last example I was going to give, and everybody in the class was real. He was there to talk about what he did and all the bells and whistles and what he was learning, and he just wanted to sound so intelligent. Here I am. I had a question, and you know, those that know my channel kind of know me. That have been around for a year or two, they know me. People who know me know me. I'm INFP, so I'm going to do my own thing. So my question, I didn't have a question. I stood up, and in class, I stood up, and there were like 30 people there. And I just told them, I said, I don't have a question for you, but I just want to say, and I repeated what the director at my hospital had told me. I said, I just hope they're all fine and dandy, the bells and whistles, but I just hope that we get to the point in our society where just holding someone's hand when they're in distress is as valued as all these bells and whistles and technology. And instead of an applause, I wasn't looking for an applause or a thank you or that's a good point. They were all like, oh my God, will you sit down and shut up? We've got a guest here and you're embarrassing him. And that's a true story. But I hope we do that. Let's see what Ingrid said. Thanks for this video. Yes, we do have the gift for listening. Sometimes I forget that and get down about not having ESTJ currency, but we have other valuable things. Yes, say Larson here, listening. Hope everyone is having marvelously well. Yes, we are. Thank you for commenting. Yes, we do have these, and I think we do forget them. It's a good point you made there, Ingrid. Radish Raven. I think that we do forget it. I think we don't allow ourselves to acknowledge it a lot of times, and I think we do forget it. I forgot it this week. I forgot it last week. So I think that's why I wanted to do this video, why I came up with a different kind of spin to it. Our currency, we have a lot of currency. We're wealthy. We're extremely wealthy people, but it's not money. It's not Bitcoin. I don't even know what Bitcoin is. And I don't want you all to teach me. I don't. What's crypto? What's Bitcoin? I have no clue. I know what a quarter is, and a penny and a dime, and a dollar bill. I don't know what anything else is, but we may not have a lot of that. We may, or we may not. Um, some do quite well. I mean, not all INFP sit in the basement. That's usually INTP, the stereotype. Sit in the basement with greasy hair. We hadn't had a bath in 2 months, and this, that, and the other. A lot, a lot of people do have it. Let's see what we got in here. Don't look into. I'm not doing Bitcoin. I don't know what it is, but I know people have lost money. This is so on point. Okay, JD says your examples are so on point. Timing couldn't be more perfect. I'm currently writing a cover letter for a job I found yesterday, working with people who are seeking disability insurance and grants. Well, good luck to you. I have worked with people with disability. I work with all kinds of people as a retired social worker. And yes, so I hope you get the job. Good luck for that. You do have a lot to offer. Mention that. Mention that in your interview. Mention that in your cover letter. We'll see what happens with that. Let me know. I'm around. Let me know. Yes, thank you. My conversations about you should apply. Yes, you definitely should apply and put that in there. Yes, let me know. If you want to email me, it's olderinfp@gmail. I always put this on here. Nobody emails me, but once in a while. But fine, yeah. Let me know how that goes. And you can just tell them exactly what I said too, that it is the characteristics that you have uh, is is highly sought after. And working with people with disabilities and seeking insurance for disabilities, that would come in handy for that. I think that would be, to me, it would be the number one thing. I never had problems getting jobs as a social worker. I've had a lot of them. I've had all of them. We don't stay in one place. We burn out, so we just change jobs when we burn out. So I've had a lot of different ones. So yeah. So that's about all I had to say. As I said, I didn't want it to be. Yeah, it's about a half an hour. I found out watching another video. Just a little aside here. I found out watching another video a couple of days ago, and I didn't know this. I'm trying to play nice with the YouTube algorithm, that YouTube doesn't really want any of the videos to go over a half an hour, but they like the shorts. I know that, but they don't want them to go over half an hour, and or they won't show you maybe. So the last two live streams have gone like an hour, and I didn't care, but maybe I need to play nice with that. So anybody else have anything else you'd like to say? Any examples you want to give? Life story? Did it make sense what I said? It seems like it did. What I said made sense, and it was kind of not misleading, kind of a teaser thing to have the money part and say currency, but I call that currency because we can get back to, remember the definition. Google currency. If you just Google the currency meaning, it made sense. Okay, good, because I never know if I make sense. I don't think I make sense in the real world. I make sense here when I'm talking about INFPs and mainly to INFPs. But the definition here, the second definition is a fact or quality of being generally accepted or in use. So what we have, it should be generally in use, which it is not, but it should be. Oh, well, you're welcome. Musing mindscapes, it resonated with you. Yes, we've had quite a bit of people in here. So, anybody else want to say anything else, or I'll cut it off. It'll be about a half an hour instead of the. What I'm going to. Okay. Okay, Rash Raven. Yeah, my INFJ friend has been mean lately and called me selfish and no empathy, so I've been pretty depressed. But then I realize I do have something valuable regardless what people think. Yes, and they're going to say it did resonate a lot. Okay, well, good. We do have these qualities. Just remember that. Well, tell your INFJ friend that you've got that, and he doesn't have that. Um, I know I've got a lot of J friends. I have had a lot of INFJ friends too. I understand what you're talking about. We are selfish to them because that's the FEF5 difference. Yeah. Hi, David. You're there from Connecticut. Yes. Good to have you here. I'm sorry to hear that. You're not selfish. Don't. I think we are selfish to the point of, if you use the definition of selfish, is self-care. I watch a lot of videos. I've watched thousands of YouTube videos, and I pick up nuggets on that, all of them, and every subject, because I love every subject. I learn something new every day. Selfish means self-care. That's another nugget for you. Yes, INFPs are selfish because we self-care, or we need to. I don't think we consciously self-care, like, well, I need to do this or I need to do that, but we do take care of ourselves first when times get tough, particularly, and times get stressful. It's self-care. And that's why we isolate. We isolate the self-care, and people don't like that. But that's another topic. I think what I'm going to do, I will say, thank you for the likes. I think what I'm going to do, so JD says it's true. INFPs are rare birds. After having done sales, I've done that too. Office jobs, I've done that too. Filing, I was a filing person for a while. I am finally coming around to what I'm actually good at, and it's not working just for profit, profit, profit. That is exactly what I said in the beginning. We tend to get jobs going by our values and not for the money, not for the corporate world. That's why we don't make as much money as the other MBTI types. And I will say, I said it in the beginning, we got more people here. I will say it. Okay, good night. Get some sleep. It must be 2 o'clock where you are. Yes, it's amusing mindscapes. One has to care for oneself in order to be fully present and care for others. Yes. Yes. You can't take care of somebody else if you don't take care of yourself first. But that might be something else I'll talk about. So as I wind this down, I'll say I'm going to try to do this through the summer, do the live streams. I like the interactions with the chat, and I just like the kind of free flow of things. I'll get back. It's too hot to wear socks. I'll get back to my socks later. If you haven't seen me before, I'm older INFP Insights. Check my website. Shoot, check the YouTube channel out, and I've got some collaborations there, and I've got more insights on a whole host of topics. I have close to 130 videos on there now, and I've been around for a couple of years. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. And what I'll say is, and until next time, let's see. Yeah, I was here. Yeah, here is 2 a.m. right now. Norway. Self care has always been a foreign word for me. As you are, okay, so you are a 9 INFP, where I was always scared to do anything for myself and always did everything for everyone else. Oh, okay. So you're in Sweden. You're in Norway. Oh, okay. Well, Ingrid is in Sweden. So it's 2 a.m. where you are. So you're an INFP 9 wing 1. The wing 1 is common with the 9. What is my computer? Something's come up on my computer. Half of the INFPs are 4 wing 5s. Thanks, Dee, for another great discussion. Have a great evening. Oh, we got another INFP 9 wing 1. I'm going to have to read up on that because I know that there are several that come into my being, my space, who are 9 wing 1. I don't know what that is, how that's different from. I am going to do something though, just as a hint, and I'm going to definitely get off. But I thought what I'm going to do next probably is I heard that the INFP 4 wing 5, which is what I am. INFP 4 wing 5 is an INFJ. So think about that. Something for y'all to think about. INFP 4 wing 5 is an INFJ. I will throw that out there. I'll do that in the next couple of weeks or so. But everybody have a good evening. Glad you came. Glad for all the likes. And until next time, you can still go, but until next time, stay safe.